everyone. Hi, guys. Ooh, okay. Screwy angles, working with stuff. Hold on. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, guys. Hi, Yasminka. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this, the Edible Spirit Full Moon live stream. We're back with another one of these wonderful installments of the Edible Spirit live full moon broadcast. We do these every couple weeks, right before the new and the full moon, to give you an awareness of how best to harness the energy of this moment. As per usual, we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about the astrology of the moment. We're going to do some readings for all of you beautiful individuals through the elements. And then we're also going to see if there's any little cute, sweet, wonderful suggestions for ritual, okay? I don't love this, but, you know, let's see if there's a better option. Ooh, does that work? That's better. More glamorous. Okay, so just need this one more thing for the notes. So how y'all doing? How has your this weird limbo week between Mercury retrograde, Mercury going direct, and Mars about to go direct, how's it been for you? Are you feeling the insanity? Are you feeling the craziness? Are you feeling the weirdness? Is it weird? Is it hard? Is it good? Theoretically, this is the astro check-in. So we'll talk about what's going on. So full moon, sun is opposite the moon in the sky. It's a full moon in Pisces. It's the first watery moon we've had since, when was it? I guess it was Cancer, but I think that might have been a new moon. Anyway, it's a watery moon. There's a lot of emotions attached to it. Think of the full moon as the sort of watery lunar emotional energies rising high, 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 high. And then Pisces is the sign of the ocean, and the sign of the deeply, deeply, wildly vast, you know, unconscious. So when there's a full moon in Pisces, it's sort of like a peak of the energies that started during last week's what's it called? Full moon in Leo. And now we actually are moving into, the sun is now in Virgo. Okay, so a lot of stuff that's changed, but this is basically the breakdown of it. In this past week, the sun went into Virgo on Thursday. Mercury went direct on Monday, and then coming up on the 26th, Mars goes direct. So it's this really interesting weekend that we have the next, 24 hours or so in front of us, because we're anticipating a hugely dramatic shift in energy come Monday, where it's almost like whatever your car is doing, it's going to get an injection of rocket fuel, and you're going to be driving faster. Times at the speed of light, so much faster than you've been feeling like you've been traveling for a minute. So as we approach Monday, yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be vast. It's going to be kind of catapulting us forward. And if you watch the Elements of Spirit readings, which have been coming out every week on Wednesdays, ediblespirit.com/elements, there's a ton of information about what to do this week and how to kind of get through this week, really up until next Wednesday, that will sort of fall under the umbrella of everything that we're talking about here today. But yeah, basically, we're talking tomorrow during the full moon in Pisces, Sun entered Virgo on Thursday, and Mars stations direct. Those are the three main things, okay? So, and then also unpacking the kind of information that's been released since Mercury went direct on Monday. So, on Sunday. So, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, crazy shit came out in the world and in the government. Did you get any interesting information that was revealed in your life? Did you get any stuff that you've kind of been grappling with or trying to understand? Did you get good information during the beginning of the week, or strong information? Maybe it's even information that you don't really want, but it's still good information. And the idea is that whatever came to you during Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is still unpacking. I've been experiencing this. My clients have been experiencing this. My loved ones are experiencing this, where it's like, oh, the information came out on Monday, but it's not until like Thursday or Friday that you're having these like, this is so interesting what I just learned about myself. I'm learning about myself. How interesting is this? You know, so the whole point is that whatever you're learning about, it has been trying to get through to you for the last 3 weeks during Mercury retrograde, the last, 6 weeks during 2 months during Mars retrograde. And the information is coming out this week. And then on Monday, it's going to be this huge, massive burst of forward energy that is like, orient yourself appropriately, because whatever happens, you're going to go flying off in that direction. P.S. I mean, I can't even fucking talk about it. There's been so much stuff going on. All of the changes that also occurred during the eclipse cycle over the last couple months. That's what I meant when I said those 6 weeks. It's like we're in a new world. We're in a new paradigm. Your life is completely different if you're willing to look at it completely different. So this week has been a great week to process what has changed, to be introspective, to be reflective. And that brings us to Thursday, to Virgo, Sun entering Virgo on Thursday. Great energy of sort of practical thinking, inward searching, inward inquiry, looking in, looking back, in order to manifest and create new plans, new structures, new supports that will sustain you for the next season, the next however long. So hopefully the information that has been turned up by Mercury retrograde will be falling into place thanks to Virgo and your inquisitive, practical, inquiring, critical nature, right? What just happened? How does that make sense? What sort of plans can I make in order to sustain the positive changes of the last 6 weeks to 2 months over the next 6 weeks to 2 months? What sort of plans can I make to move beyond and release the undesirable changes, or to work with the undesirable changes of the last however long over the next couple months? That's the Virgo vibes. And then it's like, even if you don't feel like doing it today or tomorrow, plan some shit out, because the full moon comes in. We get this big dose of emotional intensity tomorrow, compassion, connection. Pisces is the sign that dissolves all the boundaries, the sign of the collective unconscious, not even the collective like societal structures, which is more Aquarius. This is the void, the ocean, the heart that we share, the spirit that connects us all, the energy that connects us all. So it's like Pisces has this beautiful power to sort of dissolve containers. So it might get really fucking intense tomorrow during the full moon. But it doesn't really matter, because come Monday, it'll be all right. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. Come Monday, fire, right? Mars goes direct, and it's like whoosh, jets, fuel, bursting forward. So we won't even really have that much time to be super emotional, even though we will be, because I think the fire is going to balance it out, and it's going to be like, wow, I'm sad and happy and bummed and manic, but also have all this energy that I've been looking for that I haven't really been able to get access to for the last couple months. So big shifts, big changes, big stuff coming down the pipe. Makes sense to all y'all? Any questions, any comments, any concerns? What I just wanted to check on for you was full moon. You can look this up just as easily, but I feel like it's okay for me to tell you. Full moon tonight is 5 in the morning overnight. So 5 in the morning Sunday morning in Los Angeles. 4:56. So 7:56 on the East Coast. 12 noon on Sunday in Europe. Okay, so that happens in the morning. Tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. So when you wake up, wherever you are, lots of emotions rising, but it's cool. Feel them all. And hopefully whatever critical thinking, whatever planning you've done, whatever processing you've done about the last 6 weeks to 2 months will make a lot more sense, because you won't be able to really turn it off or turn it down or break it into chunkable parts. You're just going to end up feeling it all, and kind of riding that rising wave of Pisces until you get to Monday and Mars, and that wave, it's like, it's not even like it crashes. It's like the wave lifts you up and Mars just keeps lifting you. Just keeps lifting you and keeps giving you the energy to do the shit that's been really hard to do. So hope you have some plans in place to harness that stuff. Oh, wow. Wait, I'm getting a, oh, fuck, give me a pen. Hope you have some plans in place to harness that stuff. Plans in place to feel full sensitivity of what connects us, but also just of what, just, it's not even a conditional thing. It's really just like full sensitivity comes in on Sunday morning, and then rocket ship takes off. So, oh, interesting. So give 3 deadlines. 3 deadlines or deadline-like, you know, deadline-like things. I already did this between now and October 8th. Okay, so if you stay with me through this until the end when we get to the ritual, that's kind of going to be a ritual, is actually to sit with the full moon energy and make a promise to yourself to see through 3 deadlines between now and October 8th, when the Mars retrograde is, or when the Mars shadow ends. So echo phase, right, is when the planet is approaching the place where it turns retrograde. Retrograde is when it starts going backwards. And then shadow phase is when it covers that same ground again, moving forwards. And then once it crosses the point where it turned retrograde, we're out of the influence of that retrograde. So have been working with this myself and working with it with a few clients. So offering it in service to you. It's going to be bundled into the ritual, but if you don't make it through this broadcast all the way to the ritual, know that that's the general vibe. Make 3 promises to yourself about 3 deadlines that you're going to make and keep. They can be not a big deal. One of those deadlines can be like, doesn't even have to be like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. It's like, I'm actually going to go and get the gym membership, or I'm going to take that class by then, or I'm going to register for something by then. So they don't have to be like life or death, you know, all or nothing, life or death, all or nothing deadlines. It's just, it's going to be a new surge of a lot of different energies. So it's almost like we want to kind of use this weird week in between Mercury direct and Mars direct to make these plans and bundle them up so that we can really sort of test them, test their what's it called, their water readiness, right? Or their seaworthiness, right? As the emotions of Pisces rise up tomorrow, Sunday, and then really take off and fire that engine up and really cut through those high waters over the course of the next, 2 weeks to 2 months when we get to October 8th. So using that combination of Virgo, Pisces, and Mars direct, and all the information from Mercury retrograde and the eclipses to set 3 really specific deadlines for yourself between right now and October 8th. And the ritual is going to be some sort of formal promising that you're doing for yourself in the light of the full moon. So we'll come back to that at the end. Meanwhile, let's do a few tarot readings. We've been doing this with the Voyager deck the last few months or few sessions. I don't know. Maybe we used the Thoth deck recently, but I'm using Voyager today. And we're going to do this for the elements in the same way that we do the elements of spirit, ediblespirit.com/elements. For the ether first, how do we harness this moment? What is the best way to approach this moment for all of us in the ether? And then we'll go into the individual elements as they pertain to the sun signs. Air, fire, water, and earth. And I'll call out those signs as we move along, but until then, we'll just give you the reading. So how best to harness the moment of this full moon for all of us? What's it look like? What's it feel like? Okay. Okay, cool. So this says it's the 6 of Wands. It's called Trust. It's reversed. Beautiful. Babies. Candles. Golden Gate Bridges. Endeavors. Leaps of faith. But it's reversed. So it says, there's plenty of stuff that you can trust right now. There's plenty of stuff that you can rely on. It's all good. I'm reminded of the Thoth deck where the card is called Victory, right? Aha! 6 of Wands is success, victory, right? In this case, it's like, yeah, no, you're victorious, but easy, Tiger. You know, you figured it out, but it is very theoretical and very intentional and very action-based. But we want to use that Virgo energy to make it practical and to really make some plans. And, you know, Suspension Bridge is a great example. Golden Gate Bridge that's back there. See, oh, sorry, I didn't show it to you guys. This is Trust. See Golden Gate Bridge back there? So Golden Gate Bridge back there, and this showing up in terms of this full moon, it just says, you know, bridges work because they're fucking miracles of engineering. You know, bridges aren't just like, oh, let's cross the bay. Like, poof, now we cross. You know, we're not there yet. We can't all levitate yet. So in the meantime, we conceive of these structures that we erect in the middle and then basically like string up the bridge from there. So we need that structural support in order to achieve these kind of miraculous feats of trust. And both of those things are present. The support is already there for you to trust, but you got to be a little more articulate. It's not fully expressing itself. You got to be a little more savvy about the support and the structures that will sustain your ability to trust yourself, which is, again, relative to everything that was turned up during the Mercury retrograde and during these eclipses that we've hopefully been processing over the course of the last week. Fun! Moving on to the element of air, which includes the sun signs of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Air signs, this card is for you. How best for the airy childrens to harness the power of this full moon? Fun, breakthrough. Oh, this is very Mars direct energy, breakthrough. See the horse, the blowing up volcanoes. See the horse, the blowing up volcanoes. That's Instagram over there. This is YouTube. The card's called Breakthrough, the Seven of Worlds. It's not the Seven of Wands. It implies that we've reached a critical mass of things, and now there's really no choice but to break through. Something that came up in the readings this week, too, the elements of spirit, was clear your head out, clear out whatever doesn't feel great. You know, clear out the excessive stuff that's either too harsh or too blah. And really, really try to focus on where you're at and what's real, and on simplifying for yourself so that you don't have to break through a wall of 60 bricks deep. You want to be more so, air signs, over the next couple of weeks, using the intensity of the sensitivity that this full moon brings in, all the information that you've gleaned from the eclipses and Mercury retrograde unpacking itself over the course of this week, to be like, yes! This is where I am. This is what I'm doing. What the fuck do you want from me? What do you want from me? This is what I'm doing. Boom. And you break through. So it's like, in order to proclaim that yes, you got to kind of know what that yes is. You don't want to just charge through like an Aries, or, you know, roar through like a Leo, or, you know, burn through like a Sagittarius. You know, it's not fiery energy that's being asked for from you. It's more so the fire that comes from being fully resolved. So simplify until you feel super resolved over the next couple of weeks. And that simplification will make it be like, what wall? You will have a breakthrough. You won't have to break through. Okay? Love you. Hope that makes sense. Air beings, Libra, that's Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. For you beautiful fire breathers, fire babies, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We just gave you a shout out in the air readings. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What is the best way for y'all to harness the energy of this full moon as it rides the next couple weeks? Sexy. Similar. Now we got the Chariot. We had the horse in the last one. This is the Chariot. So this actually just says, you know, kiddies, it's a big deal. Whatever you went through during the eclipses, whatever you've learned over the course of the last week, try not to minimize it. There's a lot of freedom inherent in it. If you really let yourself integrate the uncomfortable lessons that you've been learning, and even the joyful lessons that you've been learning, you might not have to make as many changes as you think. You might actually be able to just be changed, be different, and sort of ride on the fuel of what's changed. You know, the Chariot also implies a kind of nice balance, a harmony of opposites. So if you've been feeling very deficient, you know, step it up a little bit, you know, plan to be a little more active. If you've been over hyperactive, tone it down a notch and calibrate yourself accordingly. You don't want to be too hot. You don't want to be too cold. You want to be just right. That's what the chariot sort of tells us. But it also implies that you are just right because you've learned some lessons, done some healing, integrated some stuff, again, which was changed and catalyzed by the eclipses, challenged, but also recently illuminated and revealed by the retrograde of Mercury, which will hopefully be yielding some new, stable, strong systems thanks to the sun entering Virgo. Plan those systems out, because as the tides rise during the Pisces full moon and you begin to feel more sensitive, you could get emotionally overwhelmed by what you've been through or what you've lost. And we don't want that. We want you to be ready for the relief, fire signs, of all of the fuel that Mars direct is going to bring to you when it turns on the 26th. But for whatever reason, I'm really feeling the effects of Mars direct really taking place starting on the 27th. Like, whoa. I hope that made sense to you. I couldn't repeat that if you wanted me to. I don't remember what just came out. So now we move into the water signs. Okay, so for the water signs, emo babies, me too. I'm a water sign, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. How best to harness the power of this moment, the frequencies of the full moon, as Mars goes direct with Virgo, newly arrived in the sun after the retrogrades and eclipses. It really says, you know, Five of Worlds to me is like a very Debbie Downer card. It implies upsets and practical struggles and challenges that you kind of need to go through. Very Mars retrograde. Five of Worlds reversed, right? Five of Pentacles reversed is a very Mars retrograde kind of vibe. Practical matters averted. I guess even to some extent Uranus retrograde, which I think we're also in, but I'm not ready to process that yet. So we're just going to stick with the Mars. It's just saying like things have been difficult, hard to get stuff up off the ground. And what we're even saying here, because again, this is about how to harness the power of the full moon, saying water signs like, try not to be too bummed and mopey about the things that have not taken off. Mars rules Scorpio. So Mars is associated with Scorpio. So Mars, when it goes direct, is going to give Scorpio a big burst of energy, which will be filtered down through Cancer and Pisces as well. And we're also with the Pisces full moon, you know, so there is intensity coming to water signs. So basically it's saying, as the emotions pick up tomorrow, as they peak, as they crest tomorrow, we may, water signs, end up feeling super bummed. No, I didn't do Earth yet. End up feeling super bummed about everything that hasn't gone well or that isn't going well. And the idea here is to remember, you know, reversals are very much like retrogrades. The energy of the card is still present. The energy of the planet is still present. It's not working. It's just working in the opposite way. It's working itself out. It's working through stuff. So the idea is that even over the course of the next couple of weeks or the next 2 months until we get to October 8th, when we're out of Mars retrograde fully, right, when we leave the shadow period, it's saying like, you may still feel like you're banging your head against the wall, but there's going to be a strong infusion of vital energy, of fiery energy. So try not to be too mopey about it. Otherwise, you're just not going to be ready for the burst of energy. You're going to get all of that energy to fuel your moping as opposed to fueling your motion, right? And we'd rather use it to fuel your motion. So it's just saying, you know, you don't have to change much more right now, water signs. You don't need to transform everything. You don't need to like move all the pieces around the board. It's like things have already been difficult enough. You don't need to start over again and just have to kind of like solve the same problems over again. It's like patience. Let these energies, let the cosmic energies help you to work through your practical challenges, as opposed to like working through your practical challenges and creating friction with these cosmic energies. You see, it's like, don't overwork it, don't overthink it, and especially Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. There's no room for that. I'm speaking to myself. I'm not saying like you feel sorry for yourself. I'm saying don't feel sorry for yourself over the course of the next 24, 48 hours as this Pisces full moon energy peaks. Interesting. I never even thought about this full moon as being like a hyper emotional one, just because I haven't been clocking Pisces, because so much has been about the Mercury and the Mars stuff. Okay, you guys with me? We're on to the last. We're on to Earth. What's up with Earth? This is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, the card is integrity. The card is the 9 of Wands, I think. Yeah, the 9 of Wands in this deck. This implies that whatever you've gone through with the retrogrades, with the eclipses, bitch, you're here. Stand up straight. Put your titties out. You know, pop your booty. But like really feel yourself and stand tall and pay attention to who you are now, because who you are now is good. Feels good. For whatever reason, I've been kind of being patient with everyone and being like, try to really work through this stuff and think about this stuff and come up with these plans. My feeling is that y'all are kind of naturally doing this. Like the road is actually clear and ready in front of you. And what you want to do is not pick yourself apart because of the Virgo energy, because of the sun being in Virgo. It's like, don't maybe let your best laid plans stay. And follow those plans, you know, adjust a little bit, tweak, you know, but you can adjust the integrity of your building, of your construction, right? Because that's, you see the spinal column is in here, the World Trade Center, Notre Dame, spinal column, World Trade Center, Notre Dame, saying you can say sort of like, yes, thank you, Paula, because the retrograde was in Leo. Mercury retrograde was in Leo. So you've learned a lot about who you are. And one of the eclipses was in Leo. So we've all learned a lot about who we are, what we really care about, what's making our hearts beat. And this is saying to you, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn children, look at yourself, look at those structures. You're allowed to adjust them, but you don't want to close down the whole building for construction. It's like, you don't need to destroy to rebuild. You can be refining right now and not necessarily rebuilding and redoing. And know that as this Mars energy blasts through, it's almost like a low grade, you know, fireball earthquake that moves through your structure, and it may test the limits of your structures. You may have to do some repairs, but the whole point is during the full moon, for you beautiful babies, pay attention to how far you've come, how tall you're standing, and how much integrity you actually have. And when we say integrity, we talked about this, I think, during the last stream or during one of the last readings. Integrity is not just about how people think you're doing or how well you seem to be doing, but how well you are doing, how aligned you are with who you say you are, how authentically you're expressing the truth of who you are. That's integrity. Right? Are you walking the walk and talking the talk? That's integrity, right? Okay, so those are our readings for the week. If you missed them, I'm not going to run through them right now, just in the interest of time, so scroll back. These readings will be up on Instagram for 24 hours, but then they're at ediblespirit.com/live or the Edible Spirit YouTube channel. If you haven't followed that, please go to youtube.com/ediblespirit. Follow me on Instagram. Send my page to people on Instagram because I want to be able to give you guys links. And I'm close to 1,000 followers. I just need like, I don't know, 50, 60 more people. And I think then they let me start giving you links. I don't care. I'm getting much more tech savvy. I won't even say I'm not tech savvy anymore because we're getting there. But I want to be able to connect with you more consistently and more deliciously. So help spread the word. Maybe we'll try to post it on Facebook too, if that helps. But really, Facebook is a snarling beast that I don't pretend to understand. Okay, finally, we're going to talk about ritual. We're just going to talk about this beautiful little ritual, which effectively, you know, we start with recognizing and stating the intention. State intention. This is a ritual to honor the full moon in Pisces, right? And then we say to harmonize with this moment, I pause to feel deeply. 1, that which is pleasing to me. 2, that which is less than desirable or unpleasant. Unpleasant to me. And 3, that which I am ready to share. And basically, you're going to pause, let yourself feel deeply, just after saying this is a ritual to honor the full moon in Pisces. Pause, let yourself feel deeply, and you say, what is it that is pleasing me at this moment? That feels nice. What is it that is unpleasant at this moment? That feels less than desirable. What is ready to share? What am I ready to share with everyone? Make notes of those things. And then you're going to, I promise, to meet the following deadlines. Between now and October 8th. I think it's the 8th. I hope it's not the 6th. If it's the 6th, then it's the 6th. So we give you until the 8th. We're just a channel. We're not an astrologer. So now you've got your October 8th. These are the 3 deadlines between now and October 8th. And instead of asking for help, which is more characteristic of what we do at a new moon, we offer gratitude, right? So we say, thank you, Spirit, or God, or Goddess, or guides, ancestors, family, masters, teachers, whatever, your whole spiritual team. Thank you, spiritual team. I also love to call my spiritual team my extra-dimensional support system, because they are not out of this dimension, but they are not fully in this dimension. They're like a cherry on top of this dimension. They may be sentient beings beyond my body. They may just also be high-frequency aspects of myself, which I don't understand. So we file it under the heading of extra-dimensional support. We also teach classes in how to connect with your guides and what that means and what the different kinds of guidance are. But in general, as a reader and as a healer, I'm not super concerned who I'm connecting to. I connect to all of them at once, and I call them my extra-dimensional support team or support system. So, because they support me in this dimension, wherever they are. So we offer thanks to them. We say, thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, masters, teachers, support system, extra-dimensional support system, for working with me to meet these intentional goals. Intentional goals. I welcome the support of the light. Support of the light. And pause in this moment to focus my thanks. Interesting. I didn't know this is where it's going to go. And then if you can look at the full moon, do. Look at the full moon and imagine, funny, a fire hose. A fire hose shooting out your heart, shooting out the heart to the moon. And that water is absorbed by the moon. It goes through the moon, goes through the moon, and then actually kind of comes out from behind the moon and comes back to you and surrounds you. So it's coming out of your heart towards the moon, goes into the middle of the moon, comes out the back and back around you and kind of envelops you inside of it. So this is you. Here's the moon. The stream comes out of your heart going this way, and then it comes out the back of the moon and loops around you and goes back into you. So it looks kind of like that. That's you. That's the moon. It looks like that. That's you. That's the moon. And the idea is to sit there for as long as you can, as long as you feel like it, actively loving the moon, actively offering gratitude to the frequency of Pisces even, which includes everyone, everything, without separation, without distinction, everyone, everything. And even beyond the earth. It doesn't even need to just be on the earth. It's not actually limited by the earth. It's everyone and everything in all of the dimensions all the time. Forever, before and after. And the Greeks would say, unto the ages of ages. Right? Ah! So do that. Sit in communion with the moon. Let it come back to you. Let the energy of the all, of the void, of the ocean, of the mother feed you by offering your thanks. Because the idea is that if we understood fully how supported we were at all times, the only thing we would ever say was thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Finally, you sit with that. Until you're done. And you offer thanks to the moon. I guess we just did it. So you can really sit until you're done. Or I would say sit until you are compelled to move. And in general, I always recommend with a full moon ritual, shake your tits, dance, let the energy of gratitude roll you into motion, And as you start dancing, remember Mars. Remember Mars energy coming into you. And as you're dancing, you shout aloud, I promise to continue this dance with this joy in grace. Okay. And then you can always say thank you more, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then this ritual is complete. Okay, ritual is complete. That's cute. That's your ritual. I will include this for you on EdibleSpirit.com/live. So it'll be up on that page, EdibleSpirit.com/live. It'll also be in the YouTube comment section. I'll probably do a post of it on Instagram with the ritual outline, little baby mini ritual. Always just remembering, ritual is the formalization, formally putting your body in a place to express or receive invisible, powerful energies, cycling, harnessing, aligning with the cycles of time and space and the planets, so that you can offer or ask with the magnificence of grace behind it, right? In order to what? To change things, to feel better, to release, to embrace, to move on. But the idea here is that, you do ritual when you're not doing something else. Yeah, like just thinking about it, like, oh, I wonder how many people are actually going to sit there and thank the moon like that and then start dancing and moving around. And I was like, I wonder if I'm even going to do it. And I was like, well, it would probably take all of 4 minutes to do that whole ritual. And most likely I would just be playing Tomb Raider instead, so which is more important and which is going to get me connected with the energy of the full moon more? Staring at it and offering gratitude, or playing Lara Croft? No tea, no shade. I can play Lara Croft as soon as I'm done with the ritual, but before that, we pause to revolutionarily take back our alignment with the natural cycles of nature. No matter what anybody does. Final thing, just continue paying attention to this old wives' tale, this astrological myth, not a myth, that just a tendency, astrological tendency, that when Mercury goes direct, hidden information tends to come out. That definitely has happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. When Mars goes direct, whatever's going on gets a surge of energy behind it. Whatever came out during the week will get even more traction next week. So just be paying attention, because in my life, the last few months has yielded so much real world reflection of astrological alignments and how they affect us and what they mean and what they look like when they happen in the world. So continue paying attention to that and enjoy the wonderful synchronicities and this miraculous thing that these giant bodies hurtling through space, our little bodies hurtling through space, can connect dots between something, you know, millions of miles away and something that's happening right here. Something that is in my little world that not only affects the world around me, but that actually has some kind of corollary in the larger world, in the cosmic world. Just like, do you see how fucking crazy that is? We feel so separate and so distant, but when you think about what's meaningful, right? Meaning, I also substitute spiritual for meaningful, meaning for spirit. Meaning can be created across the void, across the veil. I can have a meaningful experience with my dead dad right now. He just went like this. Oh, really, Michael? Mugging for my clairvoyant camera. We can have meaningful experiences with each other through a fucking telephone, through a live stream. We can have meaningful experiences right here and right now, but they become even more meaningful when there's a weird little mathematic corollary between my broken heart or my, itchy gut and something that seems like it's millions of miles away. It's not. There's no distance because we're sharing the same meaning. Anyhow, I could go on for days. I love you guys. What's happening? I'm on the fields on September 6th and working my butt off until then. So available for sessions in LA. I don't know. I got nothing else. I love you guys. Mwah. Happy full moon. Enjoy.